In fact, many leathers can get downright exotic. The samurai, one of history's most formidable warriors. To each, a sword was not only the source of power, but an extension of the soul. As such, the blade was honed of the finest steel, and the grip made of shagreen, a leather derived from the stingray. It's so durable that it assured the samurai's grasp of his sword even when covered in his enemy's blood. It was Marco Polo who in the 13th century first traded his own leathers for the rare and mysterious species of the East. And since that time, our fascination for exotic leathers has only intensified.
The exotics are, for the most part, more primitive animals. Many of them are unchanged in the fossil record. And as such, they are armored animals. They were built for war.
Gliding underwater, a stingray's back appears light and smooth. But when dried, it forms small, nearly ceramic beads.
The stingray skin is composed of these little hard beads of dentile, maybe about the equivalent of 60 or 80 grit sandpaper, that are growing out of a true leather substrate.
To transform stingray into shagreen, the tanner must apply agents like chrome that penetrate the armor in order to transform the dermal layer beneath. Once the leather is formed below, the tanner buffs the dentile beads to create the unique sheen.
In this case, the skin was left in full bead, as you find it in sword grips from medieval times.
However, the tanner may also choose to buff off the top of the cone-shaped beads, creating a stunning effect.
It causes a little window into the cartilage, and it becomes this exotically speckled surface. It throws a great deal of light, and I find it fascinating.
Throughout history, shagreen's special beauty and durability have made it a favorite of Eastern warriors and Western emperors alike, including Napoleon. But shagreen isn't the only exotic with dramatic visual appeal. And today, many species provide strikingly handsome leathers. Often, this visual mystique is enhanced by the potentially deadly nature of their source.
Here's an example with two pythons, one African, one Vietnamese. This is, as the snake goes through the forest, this is the pattern that you'll see. This is the back. And then the belly has been cut down the middle, and so you're seeing the larger scales on the side.
But of all the exotics, none has proved more popular or more prized than the crocodilian.
The gradation in the crocodilians goes from caiman to saltwater croc to American alligator. The American alligator is the platinum standard of the crocodilians.
Like cattle, American alligators have been a source of food and hides for centuries. With the advent of chrome tanning in the late 19th century, alligator leather became more flexible and malleable. It was soon a fashionable option for many leather craftsmen.
Part of the beauty is the irregularity, and there's always a surprise. You would match for color, and you would probably match for scale size, but the natural variations are highly desirable and are what make the American alligator an outstanding, outstanding material.
Today, the production of alligator leather is at an all-time high. Many of the chrome tanning techniques and tools used by the cowhide industry are employed by alligator manufacturers as well. These include tanning drums, which lead to the crocodilian version of wet blue. Only during finishing do the real differences begin to emerge, as the alligator tanner must take special care with the hide's glaze, color, and pliability. After the hide has been retanned, dyed, fat liquored, and then dried, the tanner will apply two unique processes to the alligator leather's finish. The first is glazing, which polishes the hide with an agate stone to maximize the leather's special sheen. The second, called bombaying, renders the once tough alligator more malleable through an intense steaming process. These processes have been refined over the past century and have proven to be highly successful. In fact, by the late 1960s, alligator leather manufacturing had become too successful, with alligator populations near extinction. In 1973, the American alligator was placed on the endangered species list. But through high-tech breeding techniques, which include nurturing substantial numbers of young alligators on farms, the alligator population is now flourishing.
It has been one of the more successful ecological management comeback stories in the 1990s and into our century.
And today, the American alligator is no longer on the endangered species list.